All right, so this is where we're finally starting to do something with polynomials. It's actually kind of new, possibly interesting. And though I can already hear the groans, it's long division, much the same as the long division you did all the way back in like grade 5 or whatever it is when you learn long division. Anyway, if I have a monomial, something like this, I can just separate it into 3 separate pieces. So that'll be 5x, and then simplify each one of them. This is just going to become 3x squared minus 2x plus 1. So this thing is equivalent to this, except that x can't equal 0. And again, since we've already done a rational section, now that should make sense. Now, sometimes it won't go in exactly. So if we had 20 divided by 3, we're going to do this like review of grade 3 long division. The dividend, the thing that you are dividing, is the 20. The divisor, the number of groups it's being divided into, is that. Quotient is the answer. And so is the remainder. So in this case, since the answer would be 6 plus 2/3, the quotient is 6, the remainder is 2. So there's 2 ways we can write this. And both of them are right here. They're both very useful, and we'll use them a lot. So here's an example of this long division. So we're dividing 5,773 by 25. Now, this first step is a little bit awkward. What we do is we say, how many times does 25 go into 57? I would argue the better question is, what would we need to multiply 25 by to get it to get close to this 57? Anyway, that's going to be 2. 2 times 25 is 50. Now we subtract down. So this is now going to be 7. 7 comes down. 3 times 25 is going to be 75. Subtract down. That's going to give me 2. This 3 drops all the way down. You know, how many times does 25 go into 23? And it doesn't. Therefore, I've reached the 0 point. So it doesn't go in any more times. So 25 times 230 plus 23 is equal to that magic number of 5,773. Or I could write 5,773 over 25 equals 230 plus 23 25ths. I can do either of those 2 things. So here's how it works with polynomials. So I would first, if I'm dividing this in, how many times does x go into x squared? Well, x times. Or what would I need to multiply this x by to get that x squared? Well, it's x. X times x is x squared. That comes down. Now I carry down to the 3x. What would I need to multiply x by to get 3x? Well, 3. 3 times x is 3x. And then the 18 comes down. Now, there's no more things I can multiply x by. I could divide by x to get 18. 18 over x, but this just becomes my remainder. So this is going to be x squared plus 3x plus 18 equals x times x plus 3 plus 18. That's what that would look like. Now, it gets a little bit more fun when I've got more things. All right, I'll go through this whole thing. I really don't want to do this one. But anyway, this would be minus 5. They really want just to include the fact that we have these zeros that come down and then give us 0 terms up here. This is just going to be negative 5x plus 6. And again, so 6 is going to be my remainder. So this is one's going to be x squared minus 5. Now I can get rid of all of my extra terms now because I no longer need them. Equals x times x. Oh, that was an x cubed. There you go. X squared minus 5 plus 6. That's what that one looks like. Now here's where it starts to get a little more interesting, where we're actually doing things with a binomial. So now I have this x plus 2 thing down here. And when I multiply this down, instead of just that 2x squared, it has to distribute into the whole bracket, and that's where I get this thing from. Subtracting down. -1 minus 4 is -5x. I'm sure of that. If you're not sure of that, type it into your calculator. If you're still not sure of it, well, I guess if you don't trust your calculator, I don't know what to tell you. But there's no shame in having to use your calculator to verify that you're doing those things right. Much better than getting a question wrong because you got cocky. So, yeah, what am I doing here? Speaking of getting cocky, next thing I want to know is what could I multiply x by to get to -5x? That's going to be -5. -5x. -5 times 2 is going to be -10. -18 minus -10 is actually going to be -8 because minus -10 is the same as adding 10. So that's going to be my remainder. So 2x squared minus x minus 18 equals 2x minus 5 times x plus 2 minus 8. The video of long division can be seen right here, and you can use that handy little QR code with your phone. All sorts of fun if you want to see it other than this video. But by all means, check it out if you want. So here I have y cubed. I include a y squared term minus 6y, 0y squared, because there aren't any, plus 20, and I'm going to divide in y minus 3. I like putting that in brackets just to really make sure I know what I'm doing. So it's going to be y squared times y is going to give me y cubed minus 3y squared. Subtract down 0 minus 3 is positive 3y squared. This negative 6y carries down. So we need a positive 3y to get rid of that 3y squared. It's a little bit like I know an old lady who swallowed a fly. 3y squared goes to here, but then I also create a negative 9y. So 3y squared minus 3y squared is 0. These are canceling each other off. That's a good sign. Negative 6 minus 9 is going to be negative 15y. And then I'm going to need a negative 15. Multiply that over negative 15y. I'm running out of space, but that's okay. Negative 15 times negative 30 is going to be plus 45. 20 minus 45 is going to be negative 25. So my remainder is negative 25. So again, writing it in this form, P over D equals Q. It's going to be Y. Let's try that again. That's not a Y at all. That's an X. Y cubed minus 6y plus 20 all over y minus 3 equals y squared plus 3y minus 15. Give myself a little space here. Plus negative 25 over x minus 3. All right, rock and roll. This is the division algorithm. It's really straightforward. All we have to do is be able to factor these things up. I have to write them in the right order. 6x to the 4th plus 5x cubed plus 0x squared minus 4x plus 1. Put the whole thing up. 2x minus 1. So now what would I need to multiply 2x to get 6x to the 4th? Well, 3x cubed, of course. 6x to the 4th minus 3x cubed. Again, distributing that by that negative 1. Subtract down 8x cubed, 0, 6x to the 4th. So they just go away. So the answer is getting it or anything else getting in the way. Apparently I'm really tired because that made no sense at all. Anywho, this is going to need a plus 4x squared, 8x cubed minus 4x squared. Subtract down 4x squared. So please, by all means, if I'm making any mistakes in here, because it's distinctly possible that I will, given the kind of fuzzy state my brain is in, by all means, catch me on them, and then comment below or catch me in class. -4 minus 2 minus -2 is going to be -2x. So I'm going to need -1. That's going to be -2x plus 1. And then I get 0 out of here. Now, because my remainder is 0, the thing is a factor. Yay! And we'll see why that is soon. This one's kind of cool. State divisor, quotient, remainder. Divisor, 2x minus 3. Quotient, x squared plus 4. Remainder, -2. Now, the division algorithm is P equals D times Q plus R. So, 2x minus 3 times x squared plus 4. Spinning wheel of death for a second. Anyway, 2x cubed plus 8x minus 3x squared minus 12. Rewrite it if we needed to. Anyway, I'm just going to leave it like that. Oh, wait. I still need to subtract 2 over here. So if we bring in our subtract 2 remainder, this is going to be 2x cubed minus 3x squared plus 8x minus 14. That should be my final answer if I've done that correctly. Anyway, good luck, enjoy, knock 'em dead.